Hello friends, how are you? Let me ask you a simple question. Why every company is suddenly talking about AI agents, and why there is a rush that every team, individual should start building AI agents immediately? And then there is also even a talk that companies wants to build up billions of agents in next few years. So the real question is, what are we really building, and do we really understand it? Let's find out. Hello friends, my name is Rohit Kamble. I am an AI architect and advisor. I have almost 20 years of experience into IT industry and got an opportunity to work with some of the great companies like Microsoft and Western Union. For past 4 years, I am in UAE. I got an opportunity to work again with some of the great companies in UAE and currently based out of Abu Dhabi and supporting enterprises to build agentic applications. Honestly, if you ask me, last 2-3 years was totally different because with AI adoption I have learned so many things in last 2-3 years than many years in the past, because AI is fundamentally changing the way we build, think and solve our problems. What we are seeing today looks similar to what happened during the cloud adoption era, but there is a key difference here. During cloud adoption, companies really waited. They wanted to see how their competitors are really doing, and there were many companies who really entered the market late. But this time with the AI, companies do not want to become late, because what they have seen during the cloud adoption, that whoever the early adopters, they not only just came up with a more improved efficiency, but really changed the entire market. And we have seen that there are many companies who really exponentially grew and created a very successful SaaS model out of cloud applications. So with this time to companies, and that is where companies are really investing heavily on AI applications. They want to build AI agents. They want to really build AI application which can not only improve efficiency in their overall processes, but they can really build a different altogether market segment, or get into a product which can really help them to grow exponentially. But let's try to simplify something very important. What is exactly an AI agent? So if we take a step back, and if we go back to the evaluation of software, we have seen that there were a monolithic application, which is a big application, and then we got into a microservice architecture application, which actually converted or migrated a bigger application into more independent and manageable smaller components as microservices. And if you see, now we're talking about agentic based systems, but there is a key difference here. Now when we talk about agents can decide, can reason, can connect to tools, and they will have a context which can really understand that what user intent is. So rather than just executing a code, agent can act as a digital worker, and that's where the important aspect is. But then there is one important things to really look out, is that connecting an agent to LLM is not just because most of the people think that connecting agent to a LLM is sufficient and then LLM will take care of everything. No, I think that understanding is not true. And in this video, in this series, we will talk about how effectively you can build an agent and what are some of the key aspects you have to consider when you start building an agent. To build an agent properly, especially in an enterprise environment, we have to really think through about what should be our architecture. And the way I have fixed it, using a model which I call it as a 4-layered AI architecture, which you can really build up. So let's understand that what that 4-layer AI architecture looks like. The first layer is an input layer. Now this is the important layer. When we talk about input, it's all about how you can really take an input to a model or to an agent, and how agent can really interact with the user. So this is where we need to understand that it's not just a user prompt, but we have to also enable agents, which we can also enable agent which can take input from various APIs. It can really have a prompt. It can connect with various multi-model inputs, which can be like users. A user can ask a query, API can really hit, it can be triggered using events, or it can start with a workflow which can be really useful. So the idea is user should not depend on just one input, rather it can really be supporting with multiple inputs, with unstructured, be really handling a structured and unstructured data in an effective way. Now the second layer is a reasoning layer, and this is an important layer because this is the brain of your system or brain of your agent, right? Because this is where your agent will understand the intent. It will break down the the problem, that what exactly the problem user is facing, and then it decides that what next step I need to really take out, and then choose whether I need to really connect to the tools. Because when we talk about tools, it's important. Otherwise this will become just a chat box, it will become just a text generation if you do not really attach it to the tools. But this layer, which is very so this layer is about all controlled intelligence rather than just a code execution. Now the third layer, which is a tool layer, right? As we see that the first layer, when a user is really putting up the input, then we are doing the reasoning. Now there is a tool which is really attached to your agent, and that's where the actual data will come up, because your agent is now connected with the tools. It can connect to any tools. For example, it can connect to your HR system, your SAP, your ERP, Jira, whatever the data sources you have. Your agent can connect to that data source and can really get the information from that, which is accurate and based on the user requirement, right? And this is where the actual benefit of agent is really coming to the picture. Because when we talk about connecting to the tools, it can be connected to APIs, it can connect to the important aspect is that when you're connecting your agent to any tools, those tools should be clean, structured, and provide a predictable information. That is very important to get actual and a reliable data from the production system. Now the fourth and the very important layer is memory, because when we talk about interacting with the user, I think making an agent stateful and the context aware is very, very important. Otherwise every interaction with the user will be isolated, and without memory you will not have that intent. So with the memory you will have all the option that it can really maintain the context, it can have understanding about the user personalization, it can keep everything, whatever, it can track your history. So next time when a user is coming back, the agent knows that what exactly this user is, and because it has all the memory information, all those, right? So this is really important, because in terms of some of the example like customer support or internal assistance or DevOps automation, all these things really rely on the memory of agent. And then if a agent is not having a proper memory, then it really not provide you the proper understanding to the user. So that is very important. Now let's take a simple example with this particular framework in the mind, a customer support agent, right? When we define a customer support agent, say like the first first layer is an input wherein customer is putting a query. Then there is a reason wherein we are trying to understand that what user is really looking for. It can be issue, it can be a response, or it can be a feedback which user is really trying to do. Then there is a tooling which is in place, which is connecting your your agent to your application, your CRM application, or some ticketing system, or some kind of like a refund API, if that is what user is looking for. And then fourth thing is a memory, where it is consistently keeping the user information. So if it is having any history related with the query, any query related with the past request, then agent can really respond according to the user. So this is also very important. And that's where I think the important aspect is that we are not just building a chatbot, but you are building a system. That's simple. And this is the exact mental model which I'm using when I'm trying to build up an AI agent. In the next videos, we will be talking about every layer in detail. We will go deeper about how you can create an agentic application or agent, and what technology stack I'm using, so I can really give you that particular aspect, so you can also start looking at those technology stack and start building the agent. So feel free to share these videos with all your friends and contacts, and let me know if anything you wanted to really add up. I will keep on adding more and more videos here, and looking forward to collaborate with you guys. If you have any use case which you are working on, which you are building agent for, please connect with me. Happy to have you, and let's bring something better. Let's build some more agents. Thank you very much. Bye.